This is the juvenile orangutan I created. The juvenile orangutans are such characters and everything's exciting to them. Even their feet amaze them. Creativity is my spirituality. I was trained under Martin Vogel. My sculptures are formed using sacred geometry and the Vogel sculpture method. I work using live models generally, but I can work from photos and sometimes my imagination. I let it grow from there as I build up the layers. Martine is, I think, the only woman that's ever won 2 Rodin Awards. And she has her own method, the Vogel method. She bases it on the bony landmarks of the human skull, and it's like a 3D map, and you start with some a basic generic skull you can see it's still here at the back. It's also all over the front, so you'd have, different parts of the cheekbone, the eye socket and things. So it means if you ever get lost, you've got points that you can go back to. When I sculpt, I lose all track of time. The sculpture, it's like it owns me. I am with that sculpture and I'm in that moment. The inspiration behind the African child was a photo taken by Kevin Carter, who was a Johannesburg photographer, and he took a photo of a Sudanese child on her way to a feeding camp. She was too weak to continue and fell down. There was a vulture behind the child waiting for the child to die. There's various stories about what actually happened, whether or not he helped the child to the feeding camp. But unfortunately he committed suicide about 13 months later, and just after he'd won the Pulitzer Prize for that photo. I think for me it's important to show the plight of human beings everywhere in the world, and this is one area. While it's very painful to look at and even to imagine what it must be like for that child and millions of other children, I think we do have to look, because it's by looking it gives us an opportunity and hopefully the want to do something about it. $2,500 from every bronze sold goes to an African charity. This is a Bassi. He's the African Lord of the Sky, and I hope he's looking down with some compassion. He's one of the bronzes in the archetypal series of gods and goddesses. The myths of the past tell us stories that we can depersonalise and personalise again into our own lives.